Hey guys, welcome back. It's a little late, but here are the May releases that are on my radar. So again, I'm just going to go to Goodreads, read the synopsis of these books. So this is a video you can put me on in the background, do your chores, things that you have to do. So let's just go ahead and get into the books.
Most of these are already out now, so check the description if you're interested in any of them. If they are Kindle Unlimited books, I will make a note of that. But just going ahead and starting at the beginning, this is a sequel to um, the Never List. Yes. Um, so the second book in this series is called The King's List. This is one that is a why choose situation. There are multiple partners, so if that's not your thing, skip this one. I'm just interested because of the way that the other one ended. A lot of stuff happened at the very end of the first book. Otherwise, it was like a 4-star read. Like, it was interesting enough to keep my attention, but it wasn't like great or anything like that. She is looking for her sister, and so she goes to basically like this party, and she is chosen by the 4 princes to go through basically like this trial period with them to see if she wants to become their mate or whatever. And so she spends time with each one, blah blah blah. But it's the ending, like when she goes to go do like the ceremony or whatever, a bunch of crap goes down, and it was very interesting, and I want to see what happens. Secrets built this republic, one truth could burn it down. High Priestess Caricia Vestal has spent her life hiding the truth that she's the last surviving heir of the magical bloodline the Republic slaughtered. One wrong step could be fatal, but when a senator is brutally killed and a temple blade is found at the scene, all eyes turn to her. Praetorian Torin Morvain has made a career of dragging liars into the light, and Caricia is the one person he's vowed to ruin. But locked on a mountain with a murderer, scheming senators, and a prophecy of death, he's forced to work at her side. The closer he gets, the more dangerous the truth and their attraction becomes. With traitors closing in and a nation on the verge of shattering, Caricia and Torin must risk everything to uncover the real killer, even if it means trusting their sworn enemy. This is one that has been on my radar for a while now. A bookseller must escape the infamously haunted library that holds her darkest secrets, but with a murderer in her tour group, escaping alive is not as simple as it seems in this twisty, locked room thriller. Not all fairy tales were meant for children. Aria Stokes is finally feeling settled. She lives in a tiny New York apartment, works as a bookseller at a local shop, and has even taken a leap of faith in love by indulging her attraction to bookstore regular Jasper. And he seems to already know her so well. As a Valentine's Day surprise, Jasper gets the two of them tickets to an exclusive after-dark tour of the Daedalus Library, the grandiose establishment famed for its immersive genre-based reading rooms, and more notoriously, its rumored hauntings. While Arya normally loves all things ghastly, this place holds more dark secrets than she'd prefer Jasper to know. Like that the last time she was here, she left a body behind. But when the automatic door entry malfunctions and Arya, Jasper, and the 5 other people in their tour group become trapped in the library, they are forced to venture through the storied rooms and hidden passageways of the Daedalus in search of escape. And Arya quite literally has nowhere to hide from the shadows of her past. Then the group learns that there's a murderer in their midst. Now, as she tries to break out of the library's intricate reading rooms, Arya has to decide who she can trust and what secrets are best kept buried if she wants to make it out alive. Next up is Until Death. This one, it says, a woman finally agrees to marry the man of her mother's dreams, only to discover that wedding planning will eat you alive. If Ophelia Cohen learned one thing from her parents, it's that getting married is a bad idea. But if she's learning anything from her widowed mother's dementia, it's that dying alone is worse. So when she meets Luke, the man of her mother's dreams, marriage suddenly doesn't seem so crazy. But none of Ophelia's obsessive scrolling on wedding forums can prepare her for the nightmare of planning her own. Why is her mother-in-law going crazy over every detail? Why is Luke's family so eager to host the wedding at their vineyard's ancient chapel? And what exactly will Ophelia have to sacrifice if she and her mother both hope to survive her special day? Shot through with wicked horror, pitch black with wicked humor and pitch black horror and unexpected romance, Until Death is a deliciously dark and funny send up of the wedding industrial complex and a mother daughter story unlike any you've read before. I don't know. It just sounds interesting. Next up is Deathbringer, a dark academia romantasy steeped in necromancy, forbidden love, and a twisty murder mystery set within the perilous halls of a magical institute as a death mage who hates her magic and a poison mage who hates her are forced to work together to stop a killer before one of them is next. Born with the ability to speak with the dead, Viola hates her magic. It killed her sister Olivia, and if she doesn't learn why, it will kill her too. Her only hope lies within the perilous walls of Gorhill Institute of Magic, where Olivia spent her final days. There, Viola clashes with Silas, a poison mage whose magic stems from 3 magical snakes. Immortal, tormented, and reckless, Silas is tethered to a life he never asked for and haunted by guilt for his father's death. His hatred for death mages runs deep, and he's determined to keep Viola at a distance. But when an attack forces him to heal her, their fates become intertwined by a magical bond that threatens to upend his loyalties and his common sense. As more students start turning up dead, Viola and Silas are drawn into an uneasy alliance that pulls them deeper into Gorhill's treacherous passageways, where secrets fester beneath the stone and the dead do not rest. And as enemy lines begin to blur and their undeniable attraction grows, Viola and Silas uncover a chilling secret, maybe? Someone is hunting mages for their magical relics, and if they can't uncover the killer in time, Viola will be next. See, now that says April 30th. Never mind, this one wasn't even this month. Oh well. Sometimes I put it on the list and then the date changes. This one is correct though, May 5th. How the Story Goes, a novel. In this heartwarming bookish debut, a young widower of a famous children's fantasy author teams up with a down-on-her-luck MFA dropout to write the final book in his late wife's series and find their own perfect ending along the way. Whit Longacre has a monumental task and a looming deadline. After his wife Helen died of cancer, she left him their grieving 8-year-old daughter and a surprise in her the small task of writing. What? Makes no sense. Maybe in her will? That would make sense. The small task of writing the final book in her mega popular children's fantasy series for her legions of waiting fans. Whit is the author of moderately successful but well-received literary mysteries. He doesn't have the first idea of how to complete Helen's beloved series, and his enigmatic wife seems to have left no clues behind on how the story is supposed to end. Writer's block is one thing, but to fail in fulfilling his wife's last wish, Whit is guilt-ridden and dodging calls in the school pickup line from Helen's publisher and agent as the deadline fast approaches. Then Whit meets Merritt Pryor, who works at the local bookstore in their small New England town. Merritt has moved back home after a disastrous affair led to her dropping out of her prestigious MFA program. When Whit realizes that Merritt is a superfan of the Greenwood Castle series, they come up with a plan to tackle the book together. For the first time in years, Merritt finds herself falling back in love with writing and perhaps with the co-author offering her the opportunity of a lifetime. But when Whit uncovers a buried secret about Helen's final wishes, he questions everything about what he and Merritt have created together, endangering the tender, electrifying partnership that has transformed their lives. Can Whit and Merritt come up with an ending that feels right for both the beloved series and for their battered hearts? This one I'm torn on. I like books about books and books about authors, but I don't know, that one seems like it might be a little heavy, so I'll have to see about that one. Next up is Startup Hell, a hilarious contemporary fantasy about a junior sales witch stuck in corporate hell who has to evade devilish pacts and her kick-ass world-saving demon-slaying mum to save a surprisingly hot demon and work out how to hit her quarterly target. Morgan Blackwater's mother is a kick-ass world-saving demon-slaying Shadow Council wizard. As for Morgan's a junior salesperson at a tech startup that can't even decide what its product is. But with magic dyslexia and a disinclination to kick ass, Morgan is doing her best carving out a niche for herself in the mundane world. Leaving work late one night, she discovers her boss dead from the effort of summoning a demon to trade his soul in order to make his quarterly target. The disturbingly attractive demon Luke for short, we'll say Luke, is trapped here until he finds someone to sell their soul. While trying to sneak Luke out of the building, Morgan runs into her infamous mother. Apparently, someone has been summoning demons and she's here to get to the bottom of it. Trying to protect Luke from her mother, Morgan gets sucked into the infernal plane and discovers hell really is a corporate nightmare. She only gets back home with a promise to deliver a human soul of her own. While her coworkers are really annoying, she's not willing to sacrifice their souls. The company's tech bro CEO, though, is another story. I feel like there's some metaphor for things in this, but I don't know, it sounds funny. This is another one that caught my attention. I don't know if I would like this one just because the that time I got drunk and saved a demon was not my favorite thing ever. So I don't know if this one might be kind of the same, but I thought it sounded hilarious. So it's There's Something Fishy About My Boyfriend. Jim Tan Merman, welcome to the Jersey Shore, where the men are hot, the sun is sizzling, and the boardwalk's seen it all, until now. After years of living on the shore, Hannah Bell is sure two things are. Okay. The family's B&B is her future. Men like Xander, mysterious, charming, and unfreaking believably gorgeous, do not wash up like some kind of sexy flotsam. But when Xander appears mostly naked and half-conscious in the surf, Hannah does what any sane, kind-hearted woman would, hauls him into her bed. Her bed and breakfast, that is. It's only polite. But her one act of seaside charity goes sideways fast when her new perennially topless guest starts fixing leaky faucets with a wink, charming her with fishy dad jokes, and casually revealing that, oh yeah, he's a freaking merman. Not only that, but he's the merman who rescued her a decade ago and then ghosted her like an enchanted Tinder date gone wrong. Rude. As Hannah reels from revelations and Xander tries to stay one step ahead of the secrets lurking beneath the tide, they'll need to figure out if their surfside chemistry is just a summer fling or the start of something truly fantastic. I feel like it's going to be ridiculous, but it might be funny. I don't know. We'll see. Next up is Wings of Life. It says fans of enemies to lovers romance and epic dragon-filled fantasy will be swept into LaFay's Wings of Life, where duty, danger, and forbidden desire collide. They cast me off to Richland as a bride. They don't care if I come back alive. Too sharp-tongued and too curious, I am my mother's greatest lament and my father's constant frustration. Unwilling to bow to their will, I've become expendable, worth sending on a mission doomed to fail. Armed with nothing but a coded journal, a quill, and my wits, I'm thrust into the kingdom of our oldest enemy, a land of storms and warriors, to wed their High Dane's son. Trapped on their ruthless continent, I am no blushing bride. I am a spy sent to unlock Ritland's weaknesses. But my heart still bleeds red when the weapon master of these strange people steals it away. Through him, I learn to unlock their secrets. What I uncover is more dangerous than I ever imagined. Magic thrumming in the roots of Ritland, a dragon hidden in plain sight, and a love I was never meant to feel. Holding this knowledge, I am meant to return home and bind myself to a future I was given long ago. Now, as war rises and alliances crumble, I must choose between duty and desire, between the family who cast me aside and the bond that awakens who I truly am. To protect what I've found and who I become, I must risk everything, even if it brands me a traitor, even if it costs me my life. Next up is Seek the Traitor's Son by Veronica Roth. She is the author of the Divergent series, which is also going to be getting another book that we didn't know we needed. Elegy On did not ask for destiny to find her. She is happy with her life as a soldier, defending her small country from the Talisar, a powerful nation who worships a deadly fever. Okay, a fever that blesses half its victims with mysterious gifts. But then she's summoned to hear a prophecy. Her and the most ruthless of Talisar generals, Rava Vidar, brought face to face, they learn that one of them will lead their people to victory over the other, but they don't know which. And at the center of both of their fates, a man that Elegy is told she will fall in love with. And just one day, Elegy's old life, her job, her purpose, and her future is over. She and Rava are destined to collide with the fate of their nations hanging in the balance. And when they do, only one will be left standing. Elegy intends to make sure it's her. This one is one of the Book of the Month picks. So my link is down in the description. If you want to sign up, you can get it for $5. We have a new Dream Harbor book. This one is the Daisy Chain Flower Shop. Daisy is fed up with being unlucky in love, and after several weddings she has done the flowers for in divorce. Her beloved flower shop has gained a reputation of being cursed, thanks to Mayor Kelly and his infamous visions. Dream Harbor newcomer Elliot has been adjusting to town life following his own relationship turmoil, and until now he's avoided the flower shop at all costs. If the mayor is correct, he doesn't need any more bad luck in his life. But with his family coming to visit, Elliot finds himself reluctantly in front of Daisy's store in need of some flowers. As the petals blossom in the sunlight, Daisy and Elliot might find that love comes when you're least expecting it. Okay, so this one is a cozy romantic mystery with a fake dating dynamic, a small town setting, and HEA guaranteed. I've got to get caught up with this series. I've only read the first one. But now at this point, I feel like I'm just going to wait until fall to keep reading because you got a fall and then a Christmas, and then I'll just be back on track after that. Next up is Make Believe. And this is a meditation on the ways we think about and interact with children's literature and what that says about our opinions of children and childhood. It's about reading to kids, telling stories to children. I don't know. I'm just interested in that, obviously, with my education background. Literacy, and especially promoting literacy for children, is a passion of mine, and I want to see what it says. And my number one anticipated release of this year, I actually have this book right now. It got delivered 2 days ago now. It's Thursday. I had to remember what day it was. This is Dungeon Crawler Carl Book 8. And in this one, it is off to the races. Carl and Donut find themselves on the 10th floor where they're forced to compete in a surprisingly normal set of tasks. Well, normal for the dungeon. Races. Get from point A to point B and don't come in last. After each race, they pick up an upgrade for their vehicle, and the track gets more challenging. It all seems a little too normal, a little too simple. Ignore those strange glitches that are occurring with increasing frequency. Don't listen to those whispers about what's happening on the mysterious 11th floor, something the system AI calls a parade of horribles. Nobody, not even the showrunners, knows what that means. Just that the AI has ominously dubbed it a coming out party for the ages. Oh boy. Everything is fine, Crawler. I repeat, everything is fine. Carl hates that it's business as usual. The rules of this floor have taken away his agency. That just will not do. So Carl is planning a party of his own. It's a plan so dangerous, so insane that he can't even consult his friends lest the AI put a stop to it. Because if it goes wrong, it's not just the end of Carl and Donut. No, the stakes are higher than they've ever been. Oh my God, I can't wait to read it. I wasn't going to do a reread, and then I read the first two last month, and so I was like, well, now I've got to keep going. And so I finished book 3, and now I'm on book 4. This is another one that was a book of the month pick. I could not pick between the two, and so I ended up skipping this month, and I'm going to wait and see what the reviews look like, and then hopefully I'll be able to add one as an add-on. Or I can just save that credit for something even better next month. I don't know. Get ready to be blown away by this searing standalone space opera where corporate samurai fight beneath merciless stars, and death is always a mere breath away. Isako is a legendary swordswoman, but every legend has to come to an end. When her longtime client unexpectedly retires, she plans to follow, to walk out into the frozen wasteland of their planet with her head held high and her family enriched by her legacy. But when a competitor offers her a final mission, it's one she can't refuse. Soon she's thrust deep into a world of corporate espionage, duty-bound duels, and shadowy secrets. What she uncovers will change humanity's existence in the stars forever. What? It says Alana shelved it 3 times. Okay. Another very anticipated release for me is The Ballad of Falling Dragons. This is the second book in the Moonfall series, so When the Moon Hatched, and I am not going to be able to read you any of that without it being spoilers. So I did give this one 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the sequel. And another sequel that I think you guys might be interested in is The Tapestry of Fate. It is the sequel to Amina al-Sarafi, which I have not read yet. I do want to read it, and I just haven't got to it yet. I meant to get to it before this month, and it just didn't happen. Um, a trilogy of magic and mayhem on the high seas, in this tale of pirates, sorcerers, forbidden artifacts, and ancient mysteries, in one woman's determined quest to seize a final chance at glory and write her own legend. Amina al-Sarafi should be content. After a storied and scandalous career as one of the Indian Ocean's most notorious pirates, she survived backstabbing rogues, vengeful merchant princes, several husbands, and one actual demon to retire peacefully with her family to a life of piety, motherhood, and absolutely nothing that hints of the supernatural. But when she's tracked down by the obscenely wealthy mother of a former crewman, she's offered a job no bandit could refuse: retrieve her comrade's kidnapped daughter for a kingly sum, the chance to have one last adventure with her crew, do right by an old friend, and win a fortune that will secure her family's future forever. It seems like such an obvious choice that it must be God's will. Yet the deeper Amina dives, the more it becomes alarmingly clear that there's more to this job and the girl's disappearance than she was led to believe. There's always risk in wanting to become a legend, to seize one last chance at glory, to savor just a bit more power, and the price might be your very soul. So that is the first book, and I do want to read that one. And the sequel is coming out this month.
All right, so that's it. Those are the books that I am interested in that are coming out this month. But if there are any that you think that I missed and that you think I would enjoy, definitely let me know down in the comments. And I will see you in another video soon. Bye, guys.